Yeah. She's only fucking 6 weeks along.
It doesn't matter,
You
Nicholas.
didn't even know until they told you.
It doesn't matter, Nicholas.
Look, I 100% understand. Miscarriages are fucking difficult. They are a tough time. And you are absolutely right. I should have been there for you because you were going through a ton of shit. Right? I get it.
You don't get it. He don't get it.
And I am fucking glad for the fact that you weren't 7 months along.
Nope.
Or 9 months along and had a miscarriage. Or a stillborn. It's the emotional attachment you have at that point. I am glad that you didn't even know until they told you.
Lack of empathy. It's a lack.
I am glad that you are absolutely okay and that nothing is wrong. That you didn't have internal bleeding and you were about to die. Like, I sound like an asshole, but you didn't know until they told you. And if I were here, I would have been by your side the entire time. I already suspected you were pregnant like 2 weeks before that. Before I fucking left.
So I'm not saying that person is a narcissist, but y'all, oof. She kind of said it herself right here, the narcissistic way he responds to my miscarriage, not ours. And of course, if you're new here, I'm actually a diagnosed narcissist and I point out toxic people's traits and behaviors. So a lot of people understand that narcissistic people tend to lack empathy. And that right there could be a clear example of it right there. If you are dealing with a narcissistic person and you're pregnant and you have a miscarriage, they don't view that miscarriage as anything that affects them directly because they are not the ones that are pregnant. And they don't view it as a real person either. So you should get over it. You see, he's putting a time limit on her healing. Like, you need to be over it by now. It was only 6 weeks or 7 weeks. And I'm glad it didn't happen before, like, we're further down the road when you could be more emotionally attached to it. And a lot of narcissistic people, y'all, will leave you in your times of greatest need. You hear him say it like, I suspected that you were pregnant 2 weeks before I left. And you still left? You left? I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Could he have left because he thought that she was pregnant? Who knows right there in that situation. But it's still kind of beat up. Telling her how she should feel and things like that. Narcissistic people tend to do that, y'all. Like, you need to get over this. You should feel this way. You shouldn't be as connected because you didn't even know until they told you. You didn't even know that you were pregnant until they told you had a miscarriage. So you shouldn't even care. You should be thrilled that it didn't happen down the road and you have a stillborn or something like that. You should be thrilled. And look, I get it. Now, y'all, he don't get it. He obviously does not get it. He's not connected at all. I get it. It's a horrible situation. It is. But it didn't happen down the road, and I'm happy it didn't happen. I'm glad that you're okay. You should be thankful for your health right now. You should. Honestly, you should. You're focused on the wrong thing. You're focused on losing this situation at 6 and 7 weeks instead of you being healthy like I am. I'm glad you're healthy. And yes, I should have been there for you. Lack of empathy. He's admitting the lack of empathy. He's admitting his absence right there, y'all. The lack of empathy doesn't just occur when you have a miscarriage or stillborns and things of that nature. It also happens when you get sick, when you get hurt, when you lose a job, when you need them to be there for you. The lack of empathy will kick in. And even in a situation where the narcissistic person is a woman, they can lack empathy as well, y'all. When you are pregnant by a narcissistic person, they don't see that child as an actual human being until that child is born, y'all. And even after they're born, doesn't mean that they're going to be there for you or be there for that child. Some of them will openly take the opportunity to abandon you when you get pregnant or when they suspect that you're pregnant. I suspected you were pregnant 2 weeks ago. And you left. You left. When you get pregnant by them, when you buy a house with them, when something big, when you make a major purchase with them, when you do something that connects you to them, the mask comes off. And y'all, you don't gain empathy while you're in a relationship. This is how this person is going to be for the duration of their relationship. And if she so chooses to stay in this situation, that's what she's going to be. That's what she got to be prepared for. Don't expect this person to be there for you when you get pregnant and to go to the store and get you something. Oh, you don't really need this snack. You don't want to gain weight. You don't really need that. That's not healthy for you. Just go to sleep. I know you're over there screaming and crying and struggling, but I gotta work in the morning, so I can't take you to the hospital. That's what you should expect right there. But if y'all interested in a longer video on a narcissist lacking empathy, check out my YouTube channel. Same name, Mental Illness, right here. Peace. And if y'all know who the original creator of that video is, y'all tag them below and whatnot, because I saw that on Instagram, and the page that I found it on Instagram didn't credit the original creator. They just post things from other people's pages. So